Okay. Hey, I'm back. Liking. Been mostly like, I don't know, kind of taking a break. Still sort of reading. January was like I went through a little bit of a slump in January. Um, February picked back up. And so I was gonna go over the books that I read in the month of February. But yeah, I have been mostly doing like shorter like videos, little reels. What are they called on YouTube? I don't know. I can't give shorts. Yeah, shorts, reels. One of those little videos. With just some like mostly library hauls that I've had in the last couple months. So yeah, I'm back. Hi. And got my little reading notebook here. I'm going to go over the books that I read in February. Yeah, because this is March. All right. So, first up, the first book that I read in February was Come Tumbling Down by Seanan McGuire. And this is book. Oh. I want to say this is book 5, 4 or 5 in the Wayward Children series, and so far I have loved every book in this series. I procrastinated for so long about reading the series. I don't know, I had like a personal like I'm not going to read that. Uh Here I am eating crow because so far every book I have really enjoyed. I think there's one book that I gave like 4.5 stars to, and that all 5s. Love them. And I'm not gonna go into like you can sort of read the books like out of order because you're like following a different like main character perspective in each book, but I don't know. I would highly recommend like reading them in order. So I'm not gonna give like a full synopsis on what goes on here because it'll definitely give things away for like the previous books. But yeah, like the long and short of it is the Wayward Children series is about these children that have found themselves like portal doors, and it takes them to basically like the world that they most belong to, and like most of them want to like stay there but end up getting like pulled out of it or banned from it for like whatever reason. They end up back in our like the consensus reality, the human world, the human portal, what have you. And yeah, they end up all like getting together, like being kept like go to this school specifically for them. Usually their parents are like, our child came back weird after they went missing for an X amount of time. We need to, like, we can't have that. So, yeah, they're all hanging out in this school. And usually, like I said, it like picks one person's like main perspective. And we kind of like follow like their journey. Yeah, I'm not going to give, it's like a portal fantasy little series. Every book is like pretty short. It's like I wouldn't say any book is more than 200 pages really. I recommend it. Next up was book 4 in a series, Mammoths at the Gates by Nino. And this is book 4 in the like Singing Hills cycle. And again, because it's like book 4, I'm not gonna give a lot away. Every one of these I listened to on audiobook, and the narration is like so lovely. I recommend the audiobook if you're into audiobooks. And yeah, I wouldn't say that every book is kind of like a warm hug. There's definitely some like heavy things brought up, but it is like comforting. All of the characters in there, there's a lot of like non-human characters, and I love that. But yeah, we're mostly following this cleric Chi, and on like their journey. And yeah, I will like, I don't want to give too much more away. If you want like a sweet, again, short books with, you know, this like big focus on communication, connection, grief, talking your way out of things, telling stories. Yeah, I would recommend it. I'm not gonna get, I never like to give, sometimes I give too much away and then I feel really bad. Because, you know, the element of surprise, and like some folks are really not into like deep, like big summaries. I know for me, sometimes I really need to read the like synopsis on the back of a book, and other times I'm like, nope, I just need to start reading it. But yeah, moving on. With that said, Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This book has been hyped by a lot of like booktubers I follow, and it was good. Yeah, it was really good. I think what sealed the deal for me was, who was talking about it? What was This Story Ain't Over. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't follow or subscribe to This Story Ain't Over, I highly recommend it. But yeah, she, I think, finally like sealed the deal. Like I had already seen like a lot of booktubers talking about this book, but she kind of sealed the deal, especially describing the like polyamorous relationship in the book. It is about vampires. It is about the like, basically the perspective is through the first bride of we are assuming Dracula. And yeah, so it's about this person's perspective of like, you know, falling in love with you know, who we think is Dracula, and her experience like becoming a vampire, what comes with that, and just like time passing, and yeah, just like a lot of the like abusive experiences that she's having with this dude. And what comes out of that though is her polyamorous relationship with these other partners of his. And it actually, like, because of this like beautiful relationship that they all build together, it is what helps them kind of work through the relationship with Dracula. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It was good. I liked it. Next up was Fina by Nino Cipri, and short, very short. If you want like a short science fiction, get right into it. That is also like a queer romance book. But yeah, these folks work at a furniture store. It's like off-brand IKEA. Apparently they have like a lot of them all over the place. But yeah, it's again like this weird portal through the furniture store into like other furniture stores in other dimensions. A customer goes missing, and these two folks who were in a romantic relationship that like recently broke up decide that well, they don't decide, more so are like forcibly volunteered to go out and find out what has happened to this customer. who like walk through one of the portals. Yeah. I liked it. In some ways I kind of wished it was like longer. I felt like it was almost like too short. I wanted a little bit more, but it was still a good read. It was fun. Next up, The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. Unexpected read. I didn't like, know about this book until it like showed up as like a I think I was looking for this author's like other works. What is it? Silver Night. And The Bone Witch popped up. It's a trilogy. This is the first book in the trilogy, and yeah, I was listening to it on audio, and I was like, okay, this is like really building. Like the first book was like really building up. It was like in two timelines. One is the present time, and this bard, we're getting it through this like bard perspective, who finds this bone witch, and she has like dastardly plans, and I don't know why he keeps like hanging out with her, but he does, even though he seems like really pissed about it most of the time. And then the other timeline is like her telling the bard like her story of like what got her to this point. And yeah, so like a really quick synopsis is that bone witches are considered like in this world. So our main character, her brother dies, and she brings him back. And so her family is like, you're a bone witch. Oh no, this is terrible. Like, we gotta send you away. Get out of here. No, can't have a bone witch here in this village or wherever they are. And so she's essentially like banished. Her brother, who was dead and is now kind of like, when they come back, it's like they're not coming back. It's not like a zombie situation, but it almost kind of is. Yeah, sort of. But yeah, so they meet up with this other bone witch, Michaela, and she's like, I know a place where you can go. It's like a school sort of thing where they like take care of like these witches, and they like learn their skills, and then they're, using their skills to like be a better part of society or whatever. And obviously that didn't go well, because we're getting her like other timeline, and she's like fucking pissed and had been banished again for something we don't know. But yeah, it was like building up, and I was like, wow, there's just like so much build up and not like a lot happen. Like, what is happening? And then the last, I don't know, 30 minutes, if that, multiple things, bananas, mayhem happens. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't sure about this trilogy, and now I am like all in. So now I'm listening to the second book, and I think again it's gonna get me real good. But yeah, The Bone Witch, recommend it. Unexpected find. I'm enjoying it. Next up is One by One by Ruth Ware. This is my first read of a Ruth Ware book, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it's kind of like a thriller Agatha Christie setup where isolated setting, one by one the folks are like getting killed off. Now I actually am not going to super talk about this one along with like a few others, because I plan on doing a video where I am doing like a deeper summary of my experience reading some thriller winter setting books. Um, this book, I will just say, like, pretty, like, there was nothing, like, if you've read a lot of thrillers, I don't think this is giving anything super out there, super groundbreaking. It kind of kept me like, but it was, yeah, it was kind of predictable. I think that's all I'm gonna say. If you like Ruth Ware, or you like thrillers, like, I think give it a read. I read it. I had like a decent time with it. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about that one more, along with a few others that are like winter focused. Even though right now it's like 75 here. But I am hoping to get to that video soon. Next is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kalynn Bayron. And this is a YA horror. And it is like a summer camp-esque slasher. But what makes this a little bit different that I really liked is that it is a like summer camp. It's like a tourist destination to have a like summer camp slasher experience. So you are, yeah, like the tourists are like signing up to get in here. I don't even think they stay there. It's not like they like go to summer camp and like camp, but they like have a cabin that they stay in, and then they are essentially like signing up for like a really like fake horror experience, like to get scared. And we're following the like lead camp counselor. There's no like adults. There's no adult. The adult that owns the place isn't around. And so red flag, what? This is very strange, right? So it's just a bunch of teenagers that work at this like summer camp horror experience, and they're gearing up for the end of season. And so they had this like big deal at the end, which is supposed to be like the scariest horror experience, and it's a really big deal for our main character, who's just like really into all things like horror. And yeah, since it's a horror, obviously things don't go like, well, and people actually, instead of just being scared or like fake blood, fake deaths, real deaths start to happen. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I enjoyed it. Next is Nimona by ND Stevenson, and graphic novel. I know that now there's like is it a movie, TV show, who knows, on Netflix. I had heard about Nimona before that like came out on Netflix. I didn't watch it. Been kind of mulling it over, and then decided that I wanted to read the graphic novel. Cute. It's cute. It's cute. It's fun. I really like ND Stevenson's work. I'm pretty sure that they did I want to say Lumberjanes, which I have been also like off and on working through that whole series of graphic novels. But yeah, it's like the same feel. It's like just fun, adventure. Nimona's a great character. I don't know. All the people in there were kind of like fun, interesting characters. Yeah, recommend it. Fun time if you like graphic novels. Next, back into my Nancy Warren's huge backlist of cozy mysteries. I'm not super sold on this one. Maybe I'm just like kind of getting over it. I don't know. Um, I've listened to a lot of like Nancy Warren cozy mystery series. The one that I finished up was like almost like a Great British Bake Off cooking show, baking show, um, where the main character is, yeah, trying to like figure out where she came from, and she's a witch. This one, the Vampire Book Club, is about this middle-aged divorcee uh, witch who is now in Ireland, in a small town, and she's just trying to like start over, and you know, murder, mayhem. She needs to figure it out, and there's vampires, and they have a book club. Nothing groundbreaking. Cozy mysteries are kind of, I I enjoy them. Oftentimes with cozy mysteries there can be just a lot of like problematic material in there. Like, I'm not a super huge fan of the like it tends towards cops, like a cop and the main character ending up together, and I'm not a super huge fan of that. Um Sometimes there's just like some series that I was like, I enjoy cozy mysteries, and I really want there to be like a queer badass like, and there is some like oh hold on, Mia P. Manansala, um she has a series that I've been reading, and it's really great. So yeah, it's not like all cozy mysteries are like doing it wrong. And you know, they are what they are, and I read a lot of them, and I enjoy like quite a few of them. I keep coming back to them. But that is not to say that uh cozy mysteries have a lot of like tropes and things going on that like don't work for me. But yeah, here I am. Vampire Book Club. I did not enjoy it as much as like the baking show or the vampire knitting club. I'm not sure what it is, like what about it isn't like bringing me in. Maybe it's like I've just read too many, and so I need like a break, but yeah. Next up, here's another one that again I'm not going to really talk about in this video because I'm going to hopefully talk about it in winter thriller, winter creepy books video. But next one is Where the Dead Wait by Allie Wilkes. Yeah, I have I have a lot of things to say about this book, and I'm trying to figure out if I should just save it all for that other video. I think this book, maybe I'm being like unfair with my critique of it. I read the whole thing. I shouldn't have. I knew at like 50 pages in or something that it wasn't really working for me, and I was like, well, maybe I just need to keep going because the way that it's written is, I think, intentionally confusing, but then it's also confusing. Intentional or not sure. Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say about it for now. I didn't rate it very high. Um, However, I do think that there's like an audience for it that would be like really into it. Um, yeah. Aw, next up, okay. So Franklin's Flying, I'm gonna put two together. Franklin's Flying Bookshop and Franklin and Luna Go to the Moon by Jen Campbell. And Jen is like has a booktube and I highly recommend it. She's amazing. She is a author of like lots of like children's books and poetry and books for adults, nonfiction. Like, yeah, these are just like a few of the like children's books, and they're so cute. I love them. I love Franklin the dragon, and I love Luna. Um, yeah, just really sweet, heartwarming story about a dragon meeting this character Luna. And you know, Franklin being a dragon can be like misunderstood by other humans, but Luna is just like, I love Franklin. And like once they kind of band together, um, you know, it like creates this ripple effect. So it's like everyone is kind of like, I love Franklin. Yeah, it's just really sweet. Franklin loves books. Luna loves books. They love adventures. They love talking about like adventures in book. It's just really sweet. It's and the art is incredible. Yeah, I recommend it. And ooh, am I on the last one? Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So the last book that I read in February was Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. And I have like been putting off this book. I think I borrowed it from the library like several times and then just like kept bringing it back. And finally I decided like, I'm just going to listen to the audiobook. And yeah, so basically the premise is that oh, and it's like a middle grade fantasy series. And uh yeah, I don't want to like give too much. So yeah, so our main character, she and her mom, um, it's just them, and she gets bullied at school, and her brother went missing like 6 months ago, I want to say, when this like book starts. And she like firmly believes like, no, he is not dead. I don't know where he is, but I need to find him. So she's always doing like little searches on the computer, like, you know, staying up too late trying to figure out like information of where her brother has like vanished to. And they were like brother and sister, like so close that it doesn't make sense that like he would, like, if to her it feels like, why would he go somewhere, like leave and not tell them anything? So mystery. And she gets this weird like magical hologram message from him, basically telling her like magic is real and this isn't me. This is just like a hologram of me, which means that if you're seeing this, like, I'm not doing so good. But like, you know, this is all real. You need to go to this school and like get yourself in there so that you can experience magic. And she's like, what? Wow, huh? And she had just like, because of bullying, and she like stuck up for herself at the school that she was at. She gets kicked out. Really ridiculous. But she's like, okay, now I don't have like, you know, I'm gonna check out this school. And so she ends up going to this magic school, and it is set up. How do they do this? I guess I don't need to get into all this because then, you know, that spoils the fun if you're gonna like read it. But they do have like a category Oh, okay, I'm saying magic school, but that's kind of like, okay, I do need to give this tidbit. So they're like paranormal investigators. So this school is to like train people to either be like paranormal investigators or paranormal researchers, or there's like so many categories, you know, a job fair of things. Um, and you get categorized, like, you know, you get a score of like where you would be best suited to be. So like she really wants to be a paranormal investigator. That's what her brother was. It is very dangerous, and yeah, so it is magic, but I guess the main, so at this school it is frowned upon to be a magician. Um People are, I guess there's not a lot known. So like basically they will hunt, or like magicians are considered evil, and all magicians are considered evil, and they need to be controlled, and they need to be killed, and yeah, so this is where like paranormal investigators were like, go, and you know, the Knight brothers were magicians, powerful magicians that attack people, kill people, and they need to rein them in. And I think one Knight brother is like allegedly dead, and one Knight brother is incarcerated. Yeah, so magic school, yes, they obviously use magic. This is magical things going on in there, but using magic and magicians are all evil. Dun dun dun. That's how I'm going to end that. Yeah, so that's the books I read in February. I am hoping to be a little more consistent with giving reading wrap ups. But I don't know. I kind of just do it when I feel it. And yeah, I'm hoping to get another video out soon, focusing all on these like winter setting books, because like spring is on the way. Yeah, well, thanks for listening, watching. Hope you have a good rest of your week and the like ongoing mayhem bullshit. Bye.